Okay, guys, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And good evening to the guests and to all of you. Today, I am super excited. I am really super excited because I'm presenting with an amazing Jenny Sanford. And this is her first presentation. She, in the last year, not only she is my business partner, but she also became a very close friend. And I don't know about you, but the energy and the love, that's why it's so much fun to present with somebody you actually love. So I'm sure you know my name. My name is Sveta Silverman, Dr. Silverman. I'm going to start, share the presentation and Jenny will take off from here. Jenny, off you go. It's all yours, girl.
Okay, well, as Sveta said, this is my first stab at this, and I was getting a bit worried during the day because I was really calm until my computer wouldn't work, and then I was like, ooh. Anyway, I'm on my cell phone, guys, so I hope you won't mind. Okay, well, I would like to also welcome everyone. I would like to welcome everyone to our live presentation. I would like to welcome new guests. I would also like to welcome new distributors and also members of our team that are on here supporting me. So I'm Jenny Sanford and I'm a distributor with LifeVantage. And I have been with the company for 19 months. So why did I join LifeVantage as a distributor? Well, I was introduced to Protandim, and it was a time in my life when my health, it was not a chronic health issue, but I wasn't feeling well. I'd had a sinus infection, and this sinus infection went on for 2 or 3 months. And I was feeling really lethargic, which is certainly not me. I was also feeling irritable, and it's because I couldn't do what I normally did. I'd come home from work. I was working full time then, and I'd go to bed. That is not me. My doctor said to just wait it out. He did all the tests on me and he said he couldn't find anything. So anyway, then that kicked off my my IBS, and that was really bothering me. And it was bothering me every day. So again, that was in full flight. I wasn't feeling well. I was bloated, I was uncomfortable, and again, I was cranky. And I also noticed that I was running out of nose for the amount of zits that I had on my nose and on my chin, which was just, you know, I'm going to run out of nose if I'm not careful. And then I also noticed that my hair was beginning to thin. Now, my hair is my pride and joy. And it was like, oh, I'm going to go bald. But anyway, so I went along to a conference. I didn't want to go, but I went. And I overheard a Trish Dalglish talking about Protandim. So my ears started to waggle, and at the break, I went up to her and I said, I heard you talking about something, and I think you called it Protandim. Could you tell me a little more about it? So she told me quite a bit about it, and I suddenly felt, you know, I think this might be for me. So up until that time, my health had always been really vibrant, and I was very lucky. So Trish, I met with Trish, and I met with someone else who is in our company, and they started me on the Vitality Stack. And within a week, just a week, I noticed a difference. And what I noticed was a surge in energy, which was something I'd not had for 3 or 4 months. And then my skin began to clear. And within a month of taking the Vitality Stack, my IBS just disappeared. And then I went to my hairdresser to have my hair cut, and she said to me, Jenny, what have you been doing with your hair? And I just said, well, why? My hair is thin. And she said, no, it isn't. She said, look at all this new hair growth. And of course, hearing that, I was absolutely delighted. I did have a couple of days of detox, but that was nothing at all. And I continued with my Vitality Stack. And I have now vibrant health, and I am so grateful that this actually happened to me, because it led me to Protandem. And now I have this sense of well-being. But I do have to say, as a distributor with LifeVantage, that we cannot claim to prevent. We can't claim to heal. I just know how I feel, and it's just absolutely amazing. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sure that you all have different stories too. So let's get back to LifeVantage. So LifeVantage is a 16+ year company, and it started in a lab with very nerdy research scientists. And I know what nerdy is because my brother's one of them. And they had a question, and it was a single question. And it was, is declining health something that we have to simply accept as part of getting older? Now, at one time, we thought, yes, probably it is. But you know, no, it isn't something that we have to accept. So at the beginning, the researchers didn't know very much at all, and still didn't, about marketing the product Protandem. And the product did get onto the shelves of drugstores, and that was in 2003. But because they had very little, as I've said, experience in marketing, and if you've ever been into a drugstore, you know, you're absolutely so confused with all these bottles in front of you. So poor old Protandem was probably on the shelf, but what happened was, because of the amount of stuff that is sold in drugstores, Protandem really didn't get much of a sale. And the company actually was beginning to face financial difficulty. But like everything that gets out, an investigation team with the ABC Primetime came to check out exactly what all this Protandem was about. Now, we didn't have ABC Primetime in Britain, and so they are an organization that really try to come in and debunk or disprove what is being said. So what we're going to look at now is the first human study in 2005 on Protandem, and it's quite interesting.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment. For me, it begins with a blood test.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age, but taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, all of these, strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically. Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after. Have we turned back the clock? Maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
We do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. For more.
So that really excited me when I saw that. And, you know, it was like, wow. After 20 days, it was just incredible. And I just thought, well, if that's what it's doing for him, so it's obviously doing that for me too. So after that report was aired, they weren't able to debunk this theory. And actually, it's almost like falling flat on your face. It worked in our favor. So after that, universities and medical centers began to get hold of this news, and people started ordering. In fact, I understand that about, well, millions of orders came in for Protandim. And it just actually showed just how geeky the guys were, because even Dr. Joe McCord, who was, I think, the team leader, he had a call. Oprah had heard about this, and he had a call from Oprah just after this had aired. And he didn't know who Oprah was. And yet, heck, we all know who Oprah is, but he didn't know. So I found that rather amusing. After 2009, the company decided that these orders could not be fulfilled because, as I said previously, the company really at that time didn't have any way to market this stuff and get it out to customers. So in 2009, the company, I think they had a new board, and they decided they would go to direct sales from retail. And you know what, guys? The rest is history, because we are doing so brilliantly well. So now I am going to turn this over to the esteemed Dr. Sveta Silverman. Just let me say that she is a double trained doctor, because like me, she was a professional immigrant. She went through the same situation as me, that she couldn't get her credentials recognized. I didn't go through the years that she went through, but she was 8 years in medical school, and she actually qualified as a breast pathologist. So this lady, she analyzes samples of breast tissue, and she always says that she's the doctor that nobody wants to hear from. All I can say is we are so proud to have Dr. Sveta Silverman in LifeVantage, and I am so proud to have her as a very dear friend. She is a loving, caring person. So over to you, Dr. Sveta.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I always wanted to say with the Russian British accent from Austin Powers, oh, behave. So guys, thank you. So the thing is, what's important to me, why am I, doing LifeVantage, and a very, very proud business builder and distributor? Because what LifeVantage to me, it represents health. That's number one. Everything to me is about health, and LifeVantage represents health. And now, this day and age, every one of us needs to think and rethink health, and needs to think and rethink our enhancement of health and our immune system. So where does it begin? Again, to me, everything is about cells. So number one, to me, the foundation of cell is how clean the cell. You clean the house, you clean your car, you clean your yard. Well, we don't clean the cells. It's the same thing, clean the cells. Because when the cells get dirty, the condition is called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is an abundance of free radicals or dirty cell. And as you see on this slide, there are no organs spared. There is no cell spared when there is a cellular garbage. It is going to lead to cellular damage. So how do we deal with this? I mean, how do we get it? Obviously, you know how do we get it. So how do we deal with this? Why Pretandem? When I was introduced to LifeVantage in 2013, I wanted one thing and one thing only. I wanted this in my body. I didn't know the science. I didn't know what's behind. I didn't know what oxidative stress is. I had no idea what NRF2 is or was. I knew this. I knew that the combination of those 5 super herbs is not going to hurt me. It's only going to help me. It's going to, and I am always, I want to look ahead. I'm anticipatory. I want to anticipate not the disease, I want to anticipate health. So I've discovered Pretandem. I've discovered that there's a similar presentation like today. The next day I got this. Well, I didn't get this, but I signed for this because I wanted it in this. Because as you see here, what it does, but it reduces that cellular garbage by so many percentages, activating some special cellular mechanism. Let them get into this. But the thing is, what attracted me after, is the research and science, because then I have discovered how do we clean cellular stress by turning on our cellular vacuum cleaners or our production of antioxidants. But don't get me confused and don't get me wrong. You need to eat your antioxidants and you need to make your antioxidants. And if you don't eat your antioxidant, even if you make some, it's not going to work at 100% capacity. And if you're going to make your antioxidants, which are extremely powerful, a whole lot more powerful than the one that you eat, but you ain't going to be working in that synergy, in that exactly 100% of efficiency. So absolutely now, in this season, Start eating the blueberries and start eating your strawberries and start eating your Saskatoons. But you need to turn on the cellular vacuum cleaners to clean it. Well, I told you, I embarked into research. Now there are 26 peer-reviewed studies and a whole lot more. And these are scientifically based, peer-reviewed, aka this is bona fide studies. As you see, the universities that you obviously recognize, like Harvard, Washington State universities, University of Montreal, Virginia State, Amsterdam, these are the highest end universities. So now, my excitement when I discovered that vacuum cleaner activator NRF2. Look, NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting and preventative in history of health. It's the extraordinary breakthrough. And nobody knows about it. That's a whole thing. Like, it was so exciting. I discovered it. I didn't know about it. But even now, I discovered it in 13. But then in 2020, still nobody knows about it. How many of you as business builders knocking on the doors and teaching everyone, including healthcare professionals, about power of NRF2? Thank you, Jane Elzinga. So now you clean the cells. The second thing you do, it's like the car. It's like the house. You need to turn on that engine. You need to turn the furnace. You need to turn on the heater. So what is the engine of the cell? It's the mitochondria. Your mitochondria is not going to work when the cell is dirty. And your mitochondria declines with function when we get older and when we get dirtier. Now, not only when we get older, it's called mitochondrial dysfunction. It gets stale, it gets flail, but the mitochondrial numbers go down. So now listen to this. So for example, your brain, some of the parts of your brain have over 2 millions of mitochondria, 2 millions. Your heart cell has hundreds and thousands of mitochondria. You do not want the number to go down, right? Not in the heart, not in the brain. You don't want the function to go down. So A, clean the cell. B, turn on that mitochondria. How do you do this? You do it two ways. A, you increase the numbers, and B, you increase the functionality. So you increase the numbers by this guy, which is called NRF1. The same idea, synergy, simplicity. Read the list of ingredients, and I'm sure you recognize some. Everybody knows the power of green tea. Everybody knows the power of quercetin. Everybody knows, everybody hears these days about coenzyme Q10. So now fine, do this. And then not only you're going to turn on with the third guy, MAD protanum, you turn on the mitochondrial mechanism. It's not enough to turn on the numbers, but if the mechanism is stale, it's not going to do you any good. So you need to turn those wheels. So NAD is that wheel turner. But not only that is going to turn your wheels, it's also going to take care of your genes. NAD not only makes mitochondria to work properly, but it also allows the genes, your DNA, to relax. Because we always say that we need to sleep. Sleep is so important. Well, the genes also need to sleep. Because when we don't get up rested, we're confused. Well, you do not want unrested, confused genes. If that has happened, if you have a confused DNA, bad things are going to happen. So here's your three powers. This is the powerful threesome, which is called tri-synergizer. You clean your cells, NRF2 protandum. You turn on mitochondrial numbers, NRF1 protandum, and you turn on mitochondrial function, which is your NAD, and then you also work on your genes. So this to me is a must, and here is the graphs to show you that when you take them one by one, you ain't going to get the tri-synergy effect of all these graphs. So now, what are the other things that I consider absolutely essential for health? Our microgut, the probiotics. So everybody now carries probiotics, everybody. So you need to know actually which one to buy. So what is different from, what is difference between ours and others? Well, ours actually gets to where it belongs, because over 96% of the probiotics that you eat from somewhere else are going to get killed. You basically don't want dead bugs. You want them alive because you want, what do you want from your gut or your microgut? You want it to reboot. You want it to, you upregulate, and you want to reactivate your gut. And those guys are going to kick in the butt the other guys. So, and that's why this probiotic is very, very good, because it is efficient. But you can, again, when you put these guys, the probiotics, in your gut, you need a clean gut. For the clean gut, you need to eat right. And you need to take that, basically, that concept, clean the cells, turn on the mitochondria. What is so important is fish oils. And I'm telling you that as a vegan. As a vegan, I eat plenty of fiber and omegas and stuff, but it doesn't compare to what is already provided by the fish oil, by those absolutely essential or must to have in the cells, fish oils, for the, again, the same, the function of the cell. Again, everybody has fish oils. Everybody has the fish oils. It's the quality. The quality of our fish oils or omegas is outstanding. It also enforced with vitamin D, and it also enforced with a very interesting omegas that very few people know, omega-7. Very important for you, actually, for your figure, because it works on your weight management. Now, before I end up, obviously we have NRF2 pretandem. So then we introduced NRF2 pretandem for the hair, and Jenny just told you what happened, and she didn't tell you after, when she started using the hair care regimen. And then also we have an NRF2 skincare regimen, especially now, so important, with all the toxicities, and even for the sun, getting the good sun and protecting us from the bad rays. And it's so clean. I encourage you to go download the app, which is called Think Dirty. That's where you discover how toxic your skincare, hair care products, and then download it, the app, and then check how clean our products are. So this is pretandem for the dogs. We don't have anybody from the States. In Canada, we don't have pretandem, we have human pretandem, and it works just fine. We just need to camouflage it. Pretandem is basically like a biscuit for the dogs. It's enforced with flavors and collagen. And before I end up, I cannot not to talk about Axia. Our Axia is a brain food. It's absolutely amazing. It is an NRF2 activator. It is a mitochondrial booster, but it also a brain booster. When we say take our products, it will take time. We've used our body for decades. So it takes time to rebuild the cells. But when you take Axio, you actually feel it like the same day. You get that burst of normal functional energy. And all of a sudden you can think straight. There is no brain fog. You can concentrate and focus and start remembering the numbers. And on top of it, it keeps you hydrated, because I don't drink water. So I have Axio. I obviously dilute it in water, and I drink my 2 liters. I stay hydrated, and it tastes yummy, yummy, yummy. So that is, I hope you understand why I, as a doctor, actually do this type of a business, which I absolutely love, this type of a business, because it is networking. And when you do it right, you're building your network of friends. You're building your network of your tribe, of the same people that share the mission of health and the mission of love. Now, not only this, I think the concept is great when you do it right, but you have to have good product. You can't spread the word of love and health if you have, pardon my language, some CRAP. You need to have a quality stuff. You need to have, and for me, it has to be scientifically validated. So this is my story. Jenny, you're on.
Oh, thank you, Sveta. Okay, so thank you, Sveta, for all that. I just love it. So now I'm going to talk about the business opportunity. But before I actually get into the nuts and bolts of that, what I want to say up front is that this is not for everybody. But what I found is I became a customer to begin with. It wasn't for very long. And I then realized that I was so excited about what the products had done for me that all I wanted to do was tell people about it so that they could experience what I'd experienced. And I suddenly realized that, oh, just a minute, if I'm going to be doing this, then heck, I may as well be paid for it. So I then signed up and became a distributor. So the other thing I want to say that is very, very important is that being a distributor is not a get rich quick scheme. It does take work, and it also takes passion. And you know what? The passion comes because we are dealing with such fabulous products that you develop a passion for what these products are doing for you. And what I have to say is that it is fun. It is so enjoyable. The training is amazing. The business, or let's say the corporate training, is fantastic. The company does just not leave you by yourself. You get trained. And you belong to a community. And it's actually a Life Vantage family. And that family shares what many, many families share, is love and community and caring. And to me, that is very, very important. It's crucial for a company to be successful. And it's also crucial for a distributor to be successful. So that is just, yeah, that's just amazing. And I'm from a very small family, and that's what I love. I just love belonging to a loving community. So what I want to also say is that when you look overall at network marketing, and you look at the hotspot in network marketing, the hotspot is health and wellness. And that actually takes up 35.6% of the market. But when you look at something like leisure and education, it's only 2.7% of the market. The other thing that we need to be aware of is that LifeVantage is a 10-year-old company after it went to direct sales. And we are now in an incredible position for future growth. We are just on that cusp. And if we look in the US and Canada, when you talk to people about Protandim, some of them will look at you as if to say, what on earth is that? There are so many people in Canada and the States and other countries too that do not know anything about Protandim and how incredible this product is. And if we look at, there has been a 60% increase in wellness sales over the last 8 years. So basically, we are in an excellent position. And when we look at oxidative stress and we look at pubmed.gov, and that's the that is where the papers are published. And also the amount of work that the universities are doing on oxidative stress. We are up to, at present, 220,000, and that's growing, research projects on oxidative stress. So I think we're in a fabulous position. It's just amazing. So how do you get started in LifeVantage? Well, you purchase 3 of the packs. The first one, and you choose, the first one is bronze, the second one is gold, and the third one is platinum. Now, I started with the gold, but thinking about it now, I wish I'd started with the platinum, because if you start with a platinum pack, then you can actually, as soon as it arrives, which is a few days, you can get out of that gate and start selling, because there is, or start talking to people and showing them the product, because there is enough product in that starter pack to get you started. Along with that, it's almost like a business in a box. Along with that, you get everything that you need and the training to start you off. You're never left alone. And how do we make money in LifeVantage? Well, there's several ways that we get paid. We get paid by recruiting people, and we get 40% on each person that we recruit. And then we have lots and lots of different bonuses. So actually payment is calculated every day, but you are paid in the middle of the month and the end of the month. And if you look at our payment plan for distributors, it is the best one that I have seen. And I've looked at quite a few different companies, and this is incredible. So it's really, really worthwhile to work up to a level 3, a Pro 3. And if you look at what a Pro 3 makes, and I know they are US prices, so if we convert that to Canadian, it works out, I don't know, at about $575. If you look at that monthly, that could be a mortgage payment, that could be a car payment, but that would also pay for your products. So you could actually take these fantastic products and be paid for doing that. So it would pay for your products. So there are different ways that you can be paid. So I want to leave it there, because you've got to ask the question, can I do this? Is this for me? And all I can say is that you're never alone. You get an amazing amount of help. And I did mention that we have community, we have training, lots and lots of different training. And we also have live presentations, which conferences, which of course before COVID, we could all meet together. And for 3 days, the next one was going to be in Las Vegas. But unfortunately, because of COVID, we can't go ahead with that. So it will be a virtual one online. So yeah, so, and these presentations are so much fun. The live conferences are an absolute hoot. I just love going to them. So I want to thank you for being on this presentation tonight. And yeah, this was my first one, and I'm quite excited. I quite like this. So I hope you have a great evening. And anybody that invited you tonight, please make sure that you get back to them. I hope you have some questions, and they will be more than happy to answer these questions for you. So have a great evening.